our consciousness is nesting in our brain. So the stronger we make our neurological tissue, the stronger we make our mind, and the psychological aspect gets balanced too. How do we balance our neurological tissue? Let's think of what it depends on. The neurological tissue depends on the synapses and the distances between the neurons. Right? The larger the distance in between the neurons, the harder it becomes for the impulse to travel, to jump from the synapse onto the neuron. Because if it's stretched, the distance becomes larger or longer, and for the impulse to travel from one end to another actually would take time. This is the basic principle of dementia development. So dementia develops when the neurons actually outstretched and the distance between them becomes wide. And then based on that, then the impulses have problem of traveling at the appropriate speed, and the person develops dementia, develops the slow responses, slow understanding. Basically, the mind starts functioning at a slow rate, and the memory suffers, and the ability of clear thinking suffers too. So how do we correct this? This is one of the most dangerous situation for neurological tissue to develop with the course of time. Another would be the other way around, is when the impulse travels too quickly. But that would not be a problem if we have the neurological tissue that is functioning at a super high speed. That means that our mind would be very quick-witted, and we would be very reactive, and maybe sometimes even hyper, which could constitute a problem too. But overall, I think if the person is capable of controlling that hyperactivity, then that actually can be beneficial when our neurological tissue is very enriched and well nourished, so that it conducts the impulses at the appropriate speed, and then we do not develop any conditions, right? So we want to move from the poorly formed neurological tissue to well-formed neurological tissue. How do we do it? What do we need for it? Basically, we need the essential fatty acids, we need essential amino acids, and we need the minerals. So once we nourish our tissue, neurological tissue, with the superfoods, we will definitely start observing the change in our mind too. The symptoms like anxiety and worry, cold neurological symptoms or cold psychological symptoms even would balance and not be so intense. And we would notice that our mood, that our temperament, that the level of stress are changing, becoming more balanced, and we can experience, more peace in our mind, basically. So the mind depends on the health of neurological tissues.